Now, the new Night's King, because I'm not talking about the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. We know he's long and gone. But I'm talking about the Night's King that's showing in the show, the Night's King that we will see in the books. Now, I believe that this will be Gilly's baby monster. And you can look at my video, The White Walker's Monster, to understand exactly why I feel that way. And that will be the Night King that we are introduced to in the books. But this Night King that we're seeing in the show also, how will this man be taken out? We know that he cannot win this war in the end, and I think that his death has been foreshadowed in the opening book. Right off the gate, we see exactly how he's going to die, and I think that they've also foreshadowed it in the show also. So I'm going to tell you exactly how this man is going to get taken out. Now, first, we know the person who's going to do the job, and that is none other than Jon Snow. Now, that's not breaking news. I think we all know that Jon Snow is the hero of the story, and he is the one to kill the Night's King. He is the one born with blood of ice and fire. So he's the one who has to do the job. Now, he's going to need a couple of tools to get this job done. Number one, he's going to have a sword. And the sword he's going to wield is Dorne. He will find this sword, Dorne, in the crypts of Winterfell. That is where he will maintain the possession of this sword. And this is the sword that he will use to kill the Night's King. This sword is the same sword that Azor Ahai used. This sword is none other than Lightbringer. That is the reason why we see the sword placed on the bed when he was born, because he was born to kill the Night's King, and he was born to use this sword. Now, you can check out my video. I'll put a link in the description about Jon Snow and Sir Arthur Dayne and the Sword of the Morning, and then that way you will understand exactly why he is going to be able to wield this sword. That is why in every trailer, every picture released this season for HBO's Game of Thrones Season 7, we see something of Jon Snow dealing with the crypts of Winterfell. Yes, it's going to reveal who his parentage is, and his mom is down there, but it's also because of that sword. That sword is down there. Now, next we know that he needs something to protect himself. And we've seen what the White Walkers can do to steel. When they touch it or do anything, it just disintegrates. So there's no way he's going to be able to have regular armor on. So that is why he's going to need new armor. And that is why he's going to defeat Euron Greyjoy and take Euron Greyjoy's Valyrian steel armor. This Valyrian steel armor will protect him from the White Walkers' cold touch and their weaponry. It just happens to be black and red, the Targaryen colors also. So that is the reason why he's going to have that armor. That's who he's going to get the armor from. You can also check my other video, Jon Snow's armor, and I go into more depth and more detail exactly why or how he's going to maintain that armor. But that is also a key element for Jon Snow. Now, he's got his armor, he's got his sword, but he's still missing one more thing to actually fight a White Walker. Jon Snow is still missing one key element, and that element is a fire dragon. Yes, Jon Snow will have to ride a fire dragon. I do believe that this dragon in the end will be Drogon, that he has to ride to fight the Night's King, because the Night's King will have an ice dragon when it's all said and done, and Jon Snow is going to need to have his own dragon. Now, I do believe that both dragons will be destroyed in this battle, but he's going to have this dragon. So that means Daenerys Targaryen must die in order for Jon Snow to have this dragon. And I go all into that in another video of why she's going to die, how she's going to die, and everything else that leads into that. All these things that I talk about, videos, descriptions are in the cards. If you look in the cards, you can click on them. You will find all these videos that I talk about. But yes, Jon Snow's final ingredient to defeat a White Walker will be a fire dragon, and that fire dragon will be Drogon. How is this battle going to go down? Well, I'm going to give you the blow-by-blow description, but before I do, I'd just like to say the Con of Thrones. The Don is going to the Con of Thrones. Get the Don to the Con campaign. GoFundMe. Check that out. They allowed me to pick 5 different panels that I wanted to be on. I had picked them. I'm going to be on them. There is one for every day. That is why I did it that way, so it's all separated, and then I could spend time with you. So please go to Get the Don to the Con GoFundMe page and donate. Get me to the con. We are almost at our goal. and thank you for your support. Now Jon Snow has everything he needs to fight the Night's King. Now I know I keep saying White Walkers, but you know I mean the Night's King. So don't put in the comments, god damn it. So Jon is right now ready to fight the Night's King. But how is this going to go down? Is this going to be an all-out war? Well, we're going to see an all-out war, the same thing that we have seen before, but it will not be an all-out war. In fact, it'll be exactly what we have seen throughout the show.
I will not give my life for Joffrey's murder, and I know I'll get no justice here, so I will let the gods decide my fate. I demand a trial by combat.
There's no need for a battle. Thousands of men don't need to die. Only one of us. Let's end this the old way. You against me.
Trial by combat. The old ways. One-on-one. Man versus White Walker King. Jon Snow versus the Night's King is how it's going to go down in a one-on-one battle. That is how it's going to end, and that's the way he's going to get killed, the Night's King. Now you might say, how will Jon Snow get this message to the White Walkers, to the Night's King, to make this proposal? Well, that is very easy, my friends. The person that's going to do that is Bran. That is why Bran has been learning all this green seer stuff. That is why he's in the trees. He will be able to communicate with the White Walkers. He will be able to communicate with them mentally and be able to talk to them. Now we also see further proof in this right from the jump at the war with Waymar Royce when he meets a White Walker and he's surrounded, but they allow him to go one-on-one. They give him a head up, meaning that the White Walkers respect the old ways. They respect one-on-one, and this is how it's going to go down with Jon Snow and the Night's King. Just like it went down with Rhaegar and Robert. You remember they were both mounted on horses at the beginning of the battle before it went to the floor, and then Robert Baratheon got his chest. Robert Baratheon caved in Rhaegar's chest. This is the way it's going to start with Jon Snow and the Night's King. They will both be on Dragonback, and then it will end from Dragonback. They will fall down onto the floor, where Jon Snow will then defeat him one-on-one, mano-a-mano. Jon Snow versus the Night's King. That's how it's going down, people. So you tell me, do you think this is how the Night's King is going to go out? Did I get it? Did I nail it 100%? Or do you have another way? If you